Match in the second set. Sampras took the first by 6 games to 3, but its second set is going with serve. Courier leads 5-4. Sampras to serve. Very good first volley from Sampras. It needs to be. This man is quick. He'll be annoyed with himself for that. It was a clear opening. I suspect Sampras would have struggled to get that volley. As it is, Sampras has 3 points to level at 5-all. Yes, there's a place for the sliced shot in the modern game, but not when it's that high and that short, and against a man of such power as Jim Courier. That was almost called out before it landed. There was this rumble of, well, I don't know what, certainly a ripple of concern from the crowd. Thought it was going out, but it was heavily topspun, and I just wonder whether the line judge was prejudiced by that. A wry smile from Courier. There's the line judge. Amounts to the same thing, of course. 5-all. Yeah, it's going a bit for broke on that backhand. Oh, it's a battle. Well, he's been very effective on the serve. in the last couple of games, maybe just overdoing it a bit. So be a bit careful, hasn't got a great deal of margin for error, having lost the first set. Powerful forehand for Courier, which takes him to 6-5 in this second set. There's the ace count. Looking very relaxed. It's Todd Woodbridge in the divide between the two stands. A little bit careless, but then he's done a lot of that in the last couple of days. Not been in best form. Ace number 12. And 2 points to take this second set into the tiebreak. .92 minutes played. Jim Courier to start the second set tiebreak. Another tentatively pushed forehand. Sampras is going to do that against someone like Courier. He's got to get the ball much deeper. It's got to land within 1 or 2 meters of the baseline. Otherwise it's just asking to be belted. Which is exactly what Courier did. Well, in many ways Sampras was lucky to get a volley there. That was a good return of serve from Courier, and that ball, normally one would have banked on Courier to have put that away. Sampras guessed right. Love 2. Perhaps not the best ball for Sampras to go in on. Too many breaks for the number 1 seed, world number 2. Courier takes a risk every time he runs around that backhand, because Sampras' backhand could so easily have gone down the line and left Courier stranded. That was a very, very good second serve, but Courier needed that point. If he'd lost it, it would have been back on serve. And with Sampras having taken the first set, it's Courier who has less margin for error. Sampras now has to serve 1 from each end. 1-4. Yeah, Sampras never got hold of that backhand. And Courier was able to dominate the rally. And it's odd, isn't it, how you can play a very tight set, gets the 6 games all, and suddenly one player opens up a 4-point lead. 3 points against Sampras' serve. That's good. Well, not the first person to lead by 6-1 in the tie-break, but again it's just slightly odd. Such evenly matched players, and suddenly you get that kind of lead at the end of a 6-all set. It's 5 set points for Courier to level at 1 set all. An hour and 38 minutes played, and Jim Courier levels at 1 set all in this battle of the top 2 players in the world. All applause for the players at the start of this final set. Sampras serving 1 set all. Well, Courier thought that ball was long. The whole point about having line judges is that the player can concentrate on the ball. I know it's easier said than done, and players do get an idea of where the ball's going to land, but anyway, it's given in. Ace number 13. Well, he's in the final set of the final of this tournament without ever really having played that well. But for that, he's the world number one. Sampras enjoyed that. That may also explain why Courier is quite relaxed about this. They're good friends, these two. They play golf together. In fact, at the Australian Open, when Courier had just won the semi-final against Michael Stich, and most of us expected Sampras to beat Stefan Edberg in the other one, we were asking Courier about a final between him and Sampras. And he said, well, we play golf often, and Pete plays golf the way he plays tennis, and I play golf the way I play tennis. We once had a round where Pete went out in 34 and back in 46, and I hit 2 40s. Which I felt, as did a lot of the other journalists who heard it, that was a very reflective, interesting comment. Sampras does often go for broke. Also a slightly unusual situation here where we have the world number one and the world number two, but they're seeded in different positions. Courier the world number two but seeded 1, Sampras the world number 1 but seeded 2. The reason for that being that Sampras became number 1 only at the start of the week, or it was only guaranteed that he'd become number 1 last Friday when he beat David Wheaton in Tokyo after Jim Courier had lost to Jonathan Stark, by which time the seedings had already been set for this tournament in Hong Kong. Courier then, love 1, final set. Ace number 6. That's a great forehand. It's a good forehand from Courier as well, but you see when he plays this here, he's almost a bit stranded. Now, he has to stay where he is to cover the Sampras forehand down the line. Well, that's a brilliant angle from Sampras. Made because he is quick. Another example of getting there quickly, because you can't play that backhand unless your feet are pretty much in position. You can play the slice backhand with your feet virtually anywhere. Well, perhaps a natural serve and volley, but this is the perfect execution. Well placed serve, sliced return, and Courier was in quickly. Not an easy shot, the high backhand volley, but played to perfection by Jim Courier. No, that's too long. Courier with a point for 1-all in this final set. And Sampras anticipates here. He expects this one to come. He's already moving into position as Courier plays it. And makes use of that gap down the Courier backhand. Courier, the holder of this title, beat Michael Chang 7-5, 6-3 in last year's final. Sampras, who's unbeaten since Indian Wells, which was 7 weeks ago, when he lost to Alexander Volkov, who's now back into the top 20 in the world. Interesting tactics from Courier, charging the serve, because it's a very good second serve. Sampras has used that angle well. That was a really great smash. First point, Courier's won off the Sampras serve in this final set. Sampras then lost 1 point in 9 on his own serve in this final set. Leads 2-1. Courier then 1-2 final set. And this was the shot where Sampras, I'm sure he meant to play it a lot closer to the line.
15 all.
Here we go again. Courier did well to get to that one. Perhaps gave it a little bit too much air, but at least it was then dropping as it got to Sampras. And that's what made the volley so difficult for Sampras to control. But anticipation again gave him the point. Well played. Again, Sampras finding himself close to the tram lines on those forehands, deliberately. Choosing to run around the backhand. Point for 2-all. Well, that was a bad volley miss by Sampras. I was trying to work out what these smiles at the line judge are meant to mean from Courier. Is it his way of not complaining or what? So far, Sampras has only lost 1 point on his serve. Courier has lost 5 in this final set. Sampras at 2-all. The old wisdom had it that if you wanted a guide to who was going to win a final set, you looked to see who was winning their serve more easily. To what extent that applies when you've got a tiebreak at 6-all, I'm not sure. 2 hours played. 1 set all, 2 games all, 15 all. After such a good backhand to win the last point, Courier then makes that mistake when a powerful backhand down the line would have given him a break point. Would most probably have given him a break point. Sampras' 14th ace for the 3-2 lead. Courier 2-3, final set. Well, this is what Courier does so well. Sampras taking the ball early, standing inside the baseline. Not only well hit and well positioned, but because it was taken early, it gave Courier so little time to react. Now here, Courier's somewhat the victim of the two-handed backhand. Not to criticise it, because it's a great shot. But I suspect if he'd gone for that one-handed, he'd have certainly got it back in play. Whether Sampras would then have killed it is another matter. Courier in a bit of trouble now. Love 30. Two very good volleys under pressure from the world number one. This one, which wasn't quite a wrong footer, but pushed Sampras back the way he probably wasn't expecting. And then the killer into the open court. great rally. What a great rally. Courier did nothing wrong in this point.
15-14.
He'd perhaps like that to have been a bit deeper, but it was a very defensive shot. Courier had really played that rally superbly. Sampras on the offensive all the time. That's just the final shot, but that gives no idea about the rally. 2 break points for Pete Sampras.
Thank you.
And he has the advantage of serving first. 2 very big points. Good deep approach shot from Courier. And powerful. Still break point. Again, Sampras just prodding back that forehand return of serve. Probably worked for him on a clay court, but even on a slower clay court he needs greater length on it. Well, this is now becoming a tennis match worthy of the world's top 2 players. This is great play. Pity it ended on an error. Courier saved 2 break points in this game, but really he hasn't played a bad shot. Point to level at 3-all. Ace number 7 for Jim Courier achieves the 3-all, and that's a good game for him to have won from 15-40 down. Well, if in doubt, you play the ball, but that one was going out. Maybe it's easier to see from this angle. Sampras did not need to play that volley. The obvious shot to play there was the sliced backhand, but obviously felt the need to give it more of a whack and paid the penalty. One set all, 3 games all, 30 all. Well, that was the sliced approach down the line. No margin for error. Landed on the line. Well, he ended his last service game on an ace. That's 15 aces and a lead of 4-3 in this final set. Jim Courier serving 3-4 final set. Very short approach shot. Courier once again having to fight a slight rear guard action on his own serve. $15.30. Courier's 8th ace. Well, not for the first time I disagree with our caption chap. And that could be a very expensive miss. For the third time in this set, Pete Sampras has break point. Again, Courier playing safe. I'm not sure whether he needed to hit that backhand volley. You probably won't get an idea from here, but he hit it superbly well. To get that much power into a backhand volley is impressive. But he was #1 in the world until a week ago, and is #1 seed here. Sampras has used that short cross-court backhand so effectively today. Look at that. That was going in. Courier had to play it. Again, ankle height. And for the 4th time in this final set, Pete Sampras has break point. Well, if he can play like that on the big points, he may well be a force to be reckoned with at Wimbledon. Never gone beyond the quarterfinals at Wimbledon, Jim Courier. I suppose after Agassi's victory last year, one shouldn't necessarily expect people to serve and volley the whole time. But served and volleyed extremely well in this final. Point for 4-all. Great rally, it really is. Typical forcing Courier forehand. Look at the depth of that, and look at this forehand by Sampras. That's only because Courier has got the reach and the speed that he got that. Look at this coverage. Knew he just had to touch it. Any harder and Sampras might well have got it. But he of course was committed pretty far wide on his forehand court. Last 2 games have finished on an ace. Courier could do with one now. Sampras thought that was out, but not given. And Courier levels at 4 games all.
15 all.
The power of this backhand from Courier. But of nerves on both sides of the net. Both become a little prone to double faults, and now it's Sampras who has his back to the wall just a little. Four all, 15-30. That's an example how placing a serve can be very effective. Not a powerful one, not very deep, but very well angled. Well, we have the top two players in the world here. They've been playing for nearly 2.5 hours, and it's totally even. 1 set all, 4 all, 30 all. 1680s for Pete Sampras. Well, Sampras again took the risk, ran round his backhand, but Courier couldn't make him pay for it, and Sampras holds for 5-4. Ran round his backhand, but Courier couldn't make him pay for it, and Sampras holds for 5-4. Courier serving to stay in the match, 4-5. Courier using his experience then, he chose on the third stroke of this rally not to go in. He was going to go into the net and then hesitated and stayed back, and was quite right. Nine aces for Jim Courier. There's David Wheaton, the second row of the players' box. Takes him to 10 aces. And levels at 5 games all. Sampras going to have to watch that one. No.
Line, please. Thank you.
Courier forcing the error by charging the Sampras second serve. Sampras very reluctant to come to the net on the second serve. Oh, that's a loose volley.
43.
Again, Courier done everything right. He's volleyed well, but that was a loose one. No, it's wide. And still Courier can make no impact on the Sampras serve. Hasn't had a break point. As Courier, Sampras leads 6-5. Courier for the second time serving to stay in the match. 5-6 final set. Change of direction was a good idea. Accuracy just let him down. This was the forehand that opened it up. Again, superb angle. That kind of chopped forehand will work on the clay courts. A lot of players use it on the clay court, but here Sampras able to use the slightly quicker speed off the surface court. Sort of a medium-paced hard. Well, Courier needed 3 volleys, but all 3 of them were good. The first one was deep. The second one, well, Sampras got to it, but there was not a great deal he could do with it. Courier really has volleyed extremely well. 2 points then to take this final set into the tiebreak. Yes, it's good. And playing an hour of this final set. Still a point for the tiebreak. And I said that Courier has been volleying extremely well. It's a good return from Sampras, heavily spun, but Courier really should have got that one in. Going for the wrong footer down the line.
Thank you.
Right volley to play. 5-6 deuce. It's out. And so, after 2 hours and 41 minutes, the world #1 and #2 seed, unusual situation that is, but the world #1 and #2 seed, Pete Sampras, has match point.
Thank you. Thank you. Please.
If Courier wins this match, it will be interesting to note that although Sampras is the more natural volleyer, Courier has probably made the more important points at the net. Still 2 points away from defeat, Courier, but that was a match point extremely well saved. I wondered if Sampras might look at that one a bit quizzically. Was moving in all the time. 11th ace for Jim Courier. Well, Sampras scratched his head, and he will be aware of the fact that he had 5 break points, but 4 of them were straight break points, and the 5th was a match point on the Courier serve in the 12 games he played of this final set.
Please be quiet. Thank you.
Courier's had no break points on the Sampras serve, but that doesn't matter now. Final set tiebreak. That's too long.
1-0 Sampras.
And suddenly Sampras intercepts that volley. Courier was in quite quickly. Not a bad volley from Courier. He may feel, in retrospect, it should have been a fraction deeper, but he struck it well. He was in quickly. Great anticipation and great running forehand by Sampras. Sign of a great player, this. Sampras has not been in good form in the last few days, but when he needed it, he's played 2 superb ground stroke passing shots. First on the forehand, then on the backhand. And this tiebreak is going exactly the same way as the second set tiebreak did, except that this time it's Sampras who's leading 3-love. This is such a tight final set. We again have a 4-point gap. And suddenly Courier doesn't quite look so confident. What a great lob. Because it wasn't that high. Short approach by Sampras, and he was into the net quickly, which of course gives the baseliner a chance. But used the top spin to great effect. Whatever happens in this match, Courier will stay number 2 and Sampras number 1 in the world. Place for Courier. He's the defending champion here, which means that even if he wins this tie-break, he still has the same number of points. He has nothing to gain, only to lose, whereas Sampras will increase his points total. Courier's on a bit of a hiding to nothing in the first half of this year in terms of ranking points. He did so well this time last year. And while he's got the French Open to come, he's again the defending champion there. It's the second half of the year that I think Courier will be dangerous in the rankings. That's just the way the system works. Not a criticism of the ranking point system. That's just what happens. Also, Courier works for the big tournaments, and he's much more proven. He's won 4 Grand Slams as opposed to Sampras' 1. In this final, though, it's 2-4 in the tiebreak. A superb exhibition of power tennis.
5-2, Sampras.
Well, may Sampras take a breather. I don't know if he's just out of breath or whether he's a bit hurt, but there was a lot of effort put into every shot. Sampras 2 points away. Is he just out of puff? I just wonder. 2 points away from taking the Hong Kong title. That's a great backhand. And to what extent Sampras was trying to pump himself up, and to what extent he was annoyed about the failure of the Courier return of serve to be called out, I don't know. Certainly most of the crowd felt that was out, but it wasn't given. Well, Sampras has really come good in this tiebreak. He has 4 championship points now. This final set has gone 1 hour and 11 minutes so far. We're 10 minutes short of the 3-hour mark, as Sampras has his 2nd match point. Well, Sampras was taken to 3 sets in his semi-final against Amos Mansdorf. He's been taken to 3 sets against his old rival and friend, golfing partner, Jim Courier. He's won both on final set tiebreaks, and that confirms his position as the #1 player in the world.